egg, but I'll open it.
We have a Kinder Egg surprise to start off today's TLDR, and a elf creature, not really a stuffed animal. Ha! I slay me! I think he's coming back, too. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. Did I scare everybody else? Hello, Galaxy. I am Chris Pirillo. This is...
I'm a Jedi.
And we are here for TLDR, the Locker Gnome Daily Reports. And Jedi is opening one of her first Kinder Eggs that they finally made available here in the United States. Do you need a little assistance? Okay, this is Kinder Egg. Now, remember I said we have to hold it up for the people who are watching.
Okay.
There we go. So we have two sides here in America. Two sides. One side is a toy, and the other side is something else. She's peeling off the side that is the toy. Although I'm not sure if she can do it as easily as Daddy can. Daddy doesn't have, very strong muscles, but he can tear open a Kinder Egg, that's for sure. And when she finds out what's in the other part, she will absolutely find the strength. Oh, what'd we get?
A C-3PO.
A C-3PO car. Very neat. So it's a little C-3PO figurine with a base. It's got a little, rebel symbol. And I think it's a vehicle. At least I thought it was a vehicle. Now, what's on this side? We're going to find... No, really? You sure about that? Okay.
No, after I build it.
Okay, because the other side has chocolate, just so you know.
Wait.
That didn't phase her. Unbelievable.
Oh,
she's been watching a lot of toy videos on YouTube, and she sees people opening Kinder Eggs, so I thought it'd be kind of neat for her to open a Kinder Egg and see about putting it together. Here are the instructions, but you may need help from Daddy soon. We'll figure it out. You can open up that part, because I'm pretty sure you're a little more excited about the chocolate. Today's topic, believe it or not, is not toys. Well, I guess it's somewhat related to toys. My parents are coming, and they're going to go play. I realized, as I saw it floating in the news, that Google did not mention the word Android once during its recent Made for Google announcement. Whoa. Can you show everybody here? Can you show what we have? We have, like, 2 chocolate balls swimming in vanilla.
I had that in Texas.
You did? It looks like cereal, kind of.
Like a little Mexican.
So Google did not mention the word Android during the Made for Google announcements. And I guess that didn't surprise me at all. But, some people are wondering, why are they doing this? And there's been a lot of really solid reasons written already. But, I think for me it comes down to... Is it good? Mm-hmm. It's good. Apparently it comes with a little spoon that you tear off the top, and she figured it out. She didn't need instructions for eating chocolate, that's for sure. People don't need instructions necessarily for Android. It works, right? But the problem is, when you get a device, rarely do you think, I'm using iOS, or I'm using Android, or I'm using Windows, or I'm using macOS. You just use it. You know what you're choosing, but in terms of the day-to-day usability and how you view that device, and you may very well be an exception to that rule. I'm not an exception to that rule. I don't even think about what it is I'm using. I'm just using it, unless I know I need to use a platform in particular for one feature or another. So I think more than anything, having Google step away from that Android brand is smart. Software is still a third of the equation. Software, AI, hardware, as well it should be. At least, not just according to what Rick Osterloh has been saying, but also according to my philosophy, a balance between them. But software doesn't have to scream Android. That brings me to the second reason I happen to believe that Android kind of got sidelined in terms of a name or a brand. It doesn't exactly have a great reputation. Now, I know there are going to be people out there having a conniption. And there are going to be even other people out there who don't know what conniption means. Why did you laugh? And you were ready to laugh at that because you knew where I was going. So, Android may have worked well for you, but I can't tell you how many times...
Mommy.
She will get you some water, and thank you. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, yeah, I tried Android, it wasn't great. And I have to stop and say, well, wait a minute.
You're not good, okay?
Which one? Which one? Here, I've got a little tissue back here. It will work, or it should work. There you go. Some Rogue One tissues.
Uh-huh.
See everybody? Rogue One?
Rogue One.
Not as good as Solo in my estimation. But
do you saw Solo in my divination?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Solo. So low was this blow to Android? I don't think so. It's that Google has been separating itself from Android, abstracting itself, whether we're talking about...
vanilla chocolate.
I know. Whether we're talking about apps in the App Store...
If you get messing on your fingers, you have to get tissues.
That's right. And we've got you covered.
If you have to eat it, you have to get water, milk, like something.
Yeah, something to wash it down. That would be appropriate. When Google started to remove... No, I have to talk, Jedi. That's the rule.
Talk.
All right, Jedi, let me finish my next point, and then you can talk, because we've been going back and forth on this.
Okay.
And I know chocolate is far more important than Android to you, and that's pretty much what most people probably think as well. Chocolate is way more important than Android.
Is it Dad?
She'll get it in a second. She's bringing it. So, to see them remove Android from certain, let's say platforms, Wear OS is now what it's titled. And Android Messages is now simply Messages. They've been removing Android from branding, but they haven't been removing Android from Android. It's just not in your face because, in my estimation, people's thoughts of Android aren't all that great. You know, they may have more affinity to one product or another. Oh, great. Got some water. Okay, hop up. We got her on a stool here so that she can be at Daddy's level. You will be taller than me one day. I'm confident. When you think of Android, you may have a different affinity, especially if you've enjoyed your Android experiences. But a lot of people haven't necessarily enjoyed it, and it becomes kind of a point of contention, especially when people are inclined to compare iOS to Android. And I've said this for years. You can't, because it's literally apples and well, not literally, but one part literally apples and oranges. Two different things, two different ecosystems, two different business models entirely. By the way, thank you, Marvin Hain, for becoming a member. We're up to 78 members with this join. You can become a member. If you go to live.pirillo.com, it redirects. You can press the join button on any YouTube page or my channel, join. You get bonuses like being live in the video with me as we're talking through this. More people are, I think, interested in the Kinder Eggs than Android, which kind of comes to my point. So Google distancing itself from Android isn't a bad thing for Android as a platform. It just makes sense. Now, Wicket wants to join the fray. Anybody else?
Mimi and Joe Pop.
Oh, my parents are also here. I don't live in their basement. Contrary to popular belief.
Can I show them?
They have stayed in mine before.
My
Or
thing?
ours, I should
Can
say.
I show them my thing?
Sure, yeah, go show them your Kinder Egg. You're surprised.
I think you're gonna come watch.
Oh, okay. Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Can you go,
So, when I talk about Android, I think of something different. And even Google, I believe, thinks of something different, radically different, to the point where they didn't mention it. More importantly, they talk about Pixel, the Google Pixel 3. They're not talking about Android running it. They're just talking about this being a comprehensive experience. Pixel is the combination of hardware, software, and AI. That's Pixel, not Android. Android's a component of it, certainly. But Android's not the star of the show. In the case of the smartphone, it's the Pixel. In the case of other hardware or I guess variations of hardware, they may be going with completely different branding, but they want the Pixel to stand on its own, not be associated with Android, because of all the things I've previously discussed with you in this particular video. Oh, so Dad's here. Okay, so do y'all want to see Dad as soon as I'm done with everything? We can get his thoughts on Android if he's so inclined. The next thing, because I wrote this down to make sure I covered everything. That is not a good sound. Hang on here. Oh no, that was not good. Not your fault. Not your fault. Okay, hop up. Alright, there you go. Just got a broken Darth Vader or something. Oh well, it's not like I don't have any others to replace it. So, this is probably most important. Don't sit on that one, Dad. That one's weighted for, it's a child chair, sorry. Seriously, it's like you have to be 100 pounds. And
I'm 100.
You are 100, I will grant you that. This is probably long-term vision, but the sooner Google removes Android branding from its phones and its experiences, while it still remains Android, it's not as important as Google as a brand or Pixel as a brand because of history. But possibly most importantly, they're potentially looking beyond Android. Fuchsia is what they've been developing. Now, where Fuchsia goes, anybody's guess. Their Google Home Hub, if that's what it's called, is not running Fuchsia. It's running on the Cast platform, not Android or not Android things. So Google's experimenting with a lot of that. I don't think we have room for any more chairs, honey.
I know.
It's this. I think we're good. I will step out of the picture as soon as I make my final point.
Where's Noonie?
She's downstairs.
I locked her up.
Why?
Well, she's been bad.
We don't do that. Joe Pa is very cheesesteak. Incredibly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
So
I'm cheesecake.
when we know that Google is going to be doing something radically new, Fuchsia is a pretty much ground up platform. So they're baking it completely new and eschewing everything that they were. So that's the direction we know they are going, at least with a platform developing their own. And Android isn't going to be a part of that. Will there be Android compatibility with what is now known as Fuchsia? Most likely, possibly. We don't know. Hasn't been released. We haven't seen anything that we could really get our hands on or heads around apart from very early stage Fuchsia experiences. But if anything, if they know they're going that direction, the sooner they wean people off the idea that Google only produces Android as a platform and their understanding of what an Android experience has been for them, the better. Because it gives them the freedom, not just to try new things, but to tell people and tell their story that the Pixel is not Android, it's the Pixel, and Android happens to be a part of it. There you go. So those are my thoughts on why Google sidelined or cast shade they Chromecast shade? No, they cast shade on the word Android. I wouldn't read too far into it, but those are, I think, reasonable, reasonable reasons. Well, some reasons can be very unreasonable. So yes, reasonable reasons why Google did what they did when they did it. All right, so let's see here. Do we have anything? Nothing back there? Okay. I was going to talk about why reviewing hardware is hard, and then I realized, I think this Android topic's probably, wow, a little more interesting. She is finished. She polished off the whole leg. It's great.
I gave you a paper towel.
I just used the tissues here.
Okay.
All right. So now that I talked about that, thank the members for joining. Open to Kinder Egg. I'm doing it all. Like in one video, where's the vlogs? I thought you'd go back to doing toys. Where's the family?
Somebody said they love the happiness. Who is that?
The happiness is Christopher Miller. The happiness and the interactions of the Pirillo family. Because, isn't that what technology is all about? Bringing us together, not tearing us apart. All right. Let me try to find what it is that you dropped here, honey. I don't know if I can find it right now. But that's okay. I'm going to let Joe Pa slide in here because I got to ask him his thoughts on Android. All right. You want to try to squeeze in? I'll try to move things out of the way.
Joe Pa's turn.
Yay. You got it? I'm going to ask Dad's thoughts on Android. Okay. What are your thoughts on Android? That's what you think. That's probably as much as you think about it, too.
And that's everything all in one view. No charge, no nothing, right? Right? No. Wait, no. Android, I don't know because I've never used one.
You have no inclination to use one?
No, but I have noticed that their pictures are better. They can do different things that I can't do.
Now see what I'm
No, you
talking
can't.
about?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Okay, well, what Dad is talking about is Android in an abstract
No,
because
you
there are
can't.
variations
no, you
of
can't.
Android
no,
devices.
You can't.
So you're actually proving my point.
See? I'm right.
Now, when you say you've seen better pictures, are you talking about any pictures in particular?
No, like when we're out somewhere in our travels and people are taking pictures of the scenery, I see their cameras and I can see the picture inside there. It looks brighter. It looks more interesting, and they're able to do some things that I can't do.
Because you are...
Because I'm what?
I don't know. What are you using?
An iPhone. I think a 6 Plus. It's a big one.
They all kind of blend together.
Yeah. Except this one.
I'm dropping again.
Yeah, this one doesn't have that funny little gizmo in it.
And the notch.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Oh, what do you think about that?
I don't get it. I don't know what it's supposed to do. It looks like they're just blocking out the line that's there anyway. If they just left the line alone, the notch wouldn't be there.
So it doesn't bother you, or it's...
Well, I haven't used it with the notch, but to me, I think it would be a little bit distracting when I'm taking pictures and things like that. I'd wonder, what am I doing here? Because I take them this way and not this way.
Landscape
Mom
and
takes
not
them.
portrait.
Mom takes them up and down, and I take them this way. But yeah, they all seem to like their Androids. Always have, though, as best I know. That's a Google phone, right?
So a Google phone would be the Pixel.
Yeah. Be careful, because Google's looking at everybody.
Well, everybody's looking at everybody. Trust me, Apple makes different types of decisions, but if you don't think that data doesn't weigh into it,
they all do it.
Yeah, I think you're deluding yourself.
They're all trying to control our minds.
Well,
and decide what we see and don't see. That's a different debate.
Yeah, that's a completely different topic. Although somewhat relevant.
What? You laughing at me? You laughing at me?
Do you think it'll be hard to learn to do the Android? Because that's what my fear is that it's too hard to relearn everything.
I don't know, because I understand, isn't it like I hate to use this, a Windows-based type thing? So a lot of it's Windows-based. It actually converted might be better for me, because I still use like Excel and Word. I have the other ones all on my phone, but I just don't use them. So maybe it would help me from that aspect. I don't know.
It's really...
And now I got all kinds of apps on my phone I don't use anyways. I should take them off.
Whoa, that was very sharp.
I use it mostly like for web stuff and internet, mail.
Right. Average.
Picture, it's my camera.
And that's,
my phone.
To me, that's the driving factor, I think, for a lot of decisions anymore is the camera.
Yeah.
Which is, again, one of the reasons why something like Pixel makes sense, because when you talk about Android in the abstract...
Pixel, a phone?
Pixel phone. When you talk about Android in the abstract, there's so many types of Android devices from a variety of manufacturers, and Google's trying to get people's focus on their idea of what a phone can be, and one of the leading factors of that is the camera. The Pixel camera is outstanding.
Well, I think basically, to me, all the phones are the same. They may do things differently, like what makes them, the apps and that might be different. Might work better on this one versus it, like the I don't know, the camera seems to be more mechanical than software, but it's probably a combination of the two.
Well, it's definitely a combination of the two, but software leads the forefront with the Pixel camera.
Yeah, but
so when you talk about that, yeah, if we did a side-by-side, and I've done this with Diana as well, I've said, all right, let's take a picture of this, and then I'll take it on mine, you take it on yours, and then we'll compare them side by side. It's, I would say, in many cases, night and day.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, a lot of her shots come out blurry, not through any fault of hers. It's that the device just can't capture it the same way.
You're doing this.
Yeah.
No, we have a daughter who's constantly on the move. That's what it is. If you have a baby or a dog,
hey, hey,
if you have any moving creatures inside your house, not that our daughter's a creature, you probably need to find your way towards a camera that's going to compensate for a lot of that movement. And that's where I say, if you're a parent, first-time parent, my recommendation is go with the Pixel over an iPhone. Because the camera, you need it, and they're baking in software features that are fantastic.
For movies, though, don't most of them still have that stops it from the wiggle?
Optical image stabilization.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, hey, what's that? What is that? Do you want to show everybody what you
Here,
found?
come and show. Come here.
It's me.
Where? Let me see. Is he in the balloon?
I didn't even know I had those.
You're going to show him?
Show
Here,
everybody.
come show
They
'em.
can't see you.
You got to come over here.
Okay,
Your dad's
show it.
already taught
Point
you
'em.
this.
Point
Hold
them.
it up so that you see it in there. Oh. Who is that? Who's this? Who is that?
Daddy.
No, he's my son.
No, he's my son.
No, he's my son, your dad.
No, he's my son.
No, stink face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. It's good to see everybody out there. Goodbye, world.
Well, that sounded fatal.
Well, yeah, that's kind of... You don't want to say that nowadays.
No, I'm just saying.
Well,
All right. Here we go.
You always feel like you're sitting down here when you sit in this guy's seat because the seat's down about like that. Instead of being flat or like
It's
that,
sloped for
it's
posture.
like this.
For the back.
So you should feel sorry for anybody that takes this seat. You got that? And it doesn't make any difference which phone you use.
That's what I say. It really doesn't matter, and I don't care.
whoa.
Some people want to debate this stuff left and right. See ya. Where's she going?
Damn it, Mimi. I guess Mimi brought some.
This used to
Oh,
be
okay.
one of Chris's favorite characters, I think, if I remember right.
Well, I liked Alf. I found that at a thrift store, though. I think it's a vintage Alf.
He's wearing a.
Ah!
Yeah, they match. There you go. I'm pretty sure this is vintage. Like, I don't think they produced them after Alf was
He's still on.
up. No.
Yeah, you can watch him on the old.
Well, yeah, on the reruns, yeah. But I think they're actually. I want to say that they're looking into rebooting Alf, and I'd definitely be in for that. I enjoyed Alf a lot. I did. I don't know. I liked it. Maybe I'm the anomaly. So if we don't have anything else to cover, because we definitely covered a lot, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you to all the members for being here. It was streamed a little early today. Just wanted to test another time, and knowing full well that not everybody is in my time zone, just trying to balance it. I will be posting the newsletters later today. ChrisPirillo.com is where you can subscribe, and you should. There will be some exclusive content that was written. I've got to do one more before I distribute those. The 5 pieces of exclusive content that members get, that my patrons get, and that newsletter subscribers, people who pay for the premium service, get
11
different
is
ones.
8 on the East Coast.
No, I know, but there are some people who listen and watch from the UK. Or,
so
like-
that's like what?
It's like later. If we're earlier, they're later.
Oh, cool.
So,
Well, you-
one title,
darts.
here's a winning video game strategy or idea. Why it's fruitless to forget Facebook.
Kelly, do you like
This is the only reason Google Plus failed. I love both. I love all colors, honey. I'll go with red for the moment. Thank you. It's great. Then the 4th one that I've already written, what Apple needs to do to win at content. It's a pretty unique viewpoint. All those are little micro essays. They will be shared with the people who are able to support me. I wouldn't be able to do the content that I do today without supportive members, supportive patrons, and supportive newsletter subscribers. So thanks again for your support, however you choose to give it.
9:30 at night.
Yeah, well, it's later. It's late, but see how it's a balance, and I can't. I think, honestly, I think afternoon is probably best for everybody. I found, like, in terms of the people who are able to tune in live. But
Where's that?
it's a constant balance.
2:30, not in Ohio. That's not Ohio.
Yeah, Chris is saying it's 2:30 in Ohio.
Oh yeah, he's in.
Ohio what?
Ohio?
Can't be 2:30. It's
Well,
9.
Okay, it can't be 9, Dad. Here it's
Forgot- Ohio?
11:32. It's 11:32 here. If he's saying that, it's true.
Oh, that's right. It's the other way. Yeah, never mind.
Who's the accountant in the room?
But I'm not a timekeeper.
Oh, got it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.